How you all doing, guys? Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're having a good one. Don't go too mad on the red wine. Don't go too mad on the chocolates, but enjoy it. This is a little present from us here at Pro Traders Lounge to you. We're going to give you 3 setups today. 3 things that we're looking at. I'm going to look at a stock. We're going to have PC looking at an altcoin, and we're going to have H. Paul looking at indices. So with that said, let's jump into it. We don't want to take up any more of your time. You got to keep that for the romancing. Let's turn this off and get into the charts. So what we're looking at is Aurora Cannabis. Okay, so yes, this is in a big downtrend since 2018. We put in a high, and ever since we've been making our way down. We've got these extensions to the downside that we're looking at, and this is something I was going over with the members on Monday. So remember, we're looking at the high time frame here. We're looking at potential of a swing. No, we're not down here trying to catch knives. There's a technical reason why we're looking at the charts right now. So she's come down into a technical area. That's when we need to start, zooming into the lower time frame, seeing can we see any setup triggers on the lower time frame. So let's zoom on down. Now you can see we're very local here with price action, what we've been watching. Again, remember, we're not down here catching knives. We came down here. We've been watching this a long time. Price has been going sideways down here since October. We've gone sideways and then boom, took out the lows, a back test, and we started to make a range down here since January. Now, one thing I really like about it down here from a technical perspective is this. When you put your TR pocket on, which is another strategy you can learn at Pro Traders Lounge, you can see we went from range low to range high, midpoint to range high, range low, range high, range low. We came up into the range high, and then a big candle to the downside on one day came right down. But where did it bounce? The low of the TR pocket, a very technical area for it to bounce. Down here, myself, some of the members, we caught some bids down here. We got a big move up into our zone where we have over here. If we go down onto the lower time frame, we've got some imbalances that we needed to come up and clear. This is where we were taking big profits. Took big profits off the table, back test into that area, and a big drop down. We were bouncing here yesterday in this gap. Price bounced around. I was telling our members, this is a very key area for the bulls if we want to see more upside. They need to defend this. We don't want to see any closes down below this. Now, sure enough, it came down again. No closes below this today. It was a fairly fast candle. Like bang, bang, bang. These are moving fast. But statistics are on your side when it's coming back down into that TR pocket. There's statistics we have here in the group to bring us back up. There's good statistics. I don't want to ruin it for you lads. If you want to learn about it, come inside to the lounge. But you can see deviation, boom, boom, boom. Cannot make it back up, or cannot make it through. This looks bullish locally to me. I'm not saying the absolute low is in, but it looks bullish low at the lows here until we break it. Where do I get interest in buying shares and it's starting to get invested back into this again? Yes, we bought down here, but if you're going to be putting any sort of weight on this, you're going to be waiting for a little bit higher and more confirmation. So at Pro Traders Lounge, we like to ladder in our trades as price is moving away from our area of interest. Not while it's moving in. When it's moving away, we want to look at adding to that position. Get rid of those lines. So this area up here where we rejected, there's some internal liquidity up here. We had this imbalance to clear up that we were watching. So an interesting zone. Obviously, we have to work on the range high here again. This is why, we don't want to get too excited because it can just come back up here into the range high and then come down. And she's gone again. So no need to jump in. We want to wait for confirmation. So leave her come up. When this high is flipped, back tested and holds, this is the area that I'm getting interested in. Where am I looking to trade this to? Let's have a quick look. First of all, you want to be taking profits at this previous range point of control. Big area here, as I said, trading sideways for months in here. And then if we turn on our pivots, we have some nice levels to the upside. Let's not look past this. You know, let's not look past this point of control, value area high. But as I said, we ladder as we go. So we'll be looking for our first one here. We would like to flip, if we flip that point of control and hold it, we will be looking for another position here. And the big one is taking out that liquidity and holding. You know, we'll look to hold that again. Big target on this is up here into that yearly pivot. But we also have that gap in price up here as well. So this is an area that price will want to come back to. We don't know when, but we're going to keep an eye on it and see what happens. This does not have to impulse up. This can literally come back up into this area of balance and start to trade sideways before a move. So this is something that you want to watch. You don't have to you can wait for confirmation. Every time she clears a zone, back tests, you can start to look for another position. Again, in validation of this whole setup, these are important lows, as I've already said. So if it starts to break down, back test, change market structure, I'm out. You know, we've got other levels to the downside that we're interested in, but that's not for this stream. So again, with that said, first area of confirmation you're looking for is up here, up in this zone. And we're looking at this for a swing trade. So guys, with that said, I love you and leave you. Enjoy.
We have a little altcoin set up for you involving an asset called Ape as a gift from us to you. So looking at Ape, let's go ahead and pull up the local volume data. We can see that locally, if we use our impulse volume, and these levels were available to us as of December 10th, we tapped our value area low region and our value area high regions very cleanly. Those are trades that we would look to take, but those have already been tapped, so we're not going to look at that anymore. No, we're going to be looking at a level that's a little further down below. Now, it doesn't matter where we take our previous impulse to the downside, where we start that pull, whether we started up from over $6 or just over $2.50. Either way, the point of control is coming in right here around $1.12. Now, we can also see, it's a very important level there. We can see from our local pull that we are ranging between two inefficiency pockets. This one's a very clean one. You would expect some rejections from there, which we've gotten. Nice U-shaped with even sides. The one at the bottom is a little different. You can see we have that high volume node, but this is measuring from this low to this high. So even though it's a different volume pull, this is looking at the downside, this is looking at the upside, this was still a very important level, even on the way up. It was important on the way down, it was important on the way up, and in my opinion, we front ran that region with this tap right here. So I would like us to make a trip further down. Let's go ahead and pull up, and also we got this local triangle here that we are ranging between. So if we start to get down below this, here we go, my brush here, get down, back test point of control. This is when I would start to look for the setup. If we're holding below this trend line, back test the POC, break below this value area low, then I'm looking for a beautiful, lovely bat harmonic. Bat harmonic. The pattern would be setting itself up very cleanly if we went in and made that low. It would clean out the inefficiency pocket, tap this high volume node, which is also our untapped point of control from the way down. We want to clear out this entire volume pocket, so we do have our buying zone kind of below that inefficiency pocket, and the setup comes from there. We're looking for a C to D trade, and that would result in just over 100%. So buying in the 111 down to the 108.5 area, and personally, I would unload a little bit sooner than where I expect us to top out at. Around 228 is where I would unload the majority of this position, but that's what I'm looking for. Come into this high volume node, this point of control, sweep these lows, nice liquidity grab, taking out this low, bam. Head down into our buying zone, boom, boom, all the way up to D. Again, for over 100% return. And from a time perspective, I would look out for that basically from here until April. If we get that, it would have some nice symmetry to it. and that's would line up with some pip time. So that's the setup we're looking at here on Ape at Pro Traders Lounge. Hope you all get some value out of it. Again, happy Valentine's Day. Take care, everyone.
Hi, I'm H. Paul. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for joining us on this Valentine's Day. I'm here to give you a Valentine's setup on the S&P 500. Here I have the S&P 500 8-cap futures chart, which we have traded rather well in the lounge of recent. As you can see from our post the other day, I gave the level to the dollar at the top in the lounge for this significant drop of 2% that we got yesterday. Now, with this in mind, what we're looking for is levels below us. What can we look for levels? Obviously, we've seen a bounce back up today, but I do expect more downside on the S&P, especially in light of the pretty negative CPI data that's coming through. Adds to my confluence. But the levels that I'm looking for on this rising wedge, which was particularly overbought at the top here, what can we look for? Well, personally, I have a couple of levels in mind to the downside, whether you decide to try to trade this to the downside or whether you just look to catch the levels where I expect bounces. Well, that can be your choice. But for me, the levels that I'm watching for my short to end are down here at this quarterly level, which has really, really nice confluence. And for me, what I've got, as we know, pulling Fibonacci levels is relatively, relatively subjective. The levels that I could look for, which have really nice confluence, are this quarterly level, 786, and this value area low. Really seem like very strong levels, not to be ignored. And to me, these are going to be really key support levels for the S&P. And I would expect at least a decent reaction, if not a very big bounce off that level, for those traders taking profit down there. But there is one other level that we do need to watch before that for a reaction, which I think is also relatively important and one that we could potentially scalp from too. I'm just going to shift down this Fibonacci level and show you that we have a really nice pivot level down there at the golden pocket too. Just find this pivot level, which seems to have escaped me at the moment, but yeah, there's a really nice pivot that's untapped down there, which I expect to be tapped, and the pivot is at 4814. 4811 is the golden pocket level, give or take, and that is to me some nice confluence. What you also see is that we have a void, I suppose a fair value gap, a single print, whatever you choose to call it here, which will act as I suppose a support, resistance level, whatever. But this is also a level to watch, so yeah, that's my deal of the day, trade of the day. This may take a while to play out, but I hope you found that useful, and thank you. And for more information, come and see us in Pro Traders Lounge.